Welcome back to the runs with me, Gareth.
And me, Nicky.
How's it going, Nick? All right?
Good, mate. Good. On to week 3, or episode 3 for us.
Episode 3, week whatever. After Christmas, we'll probably try and get it a bit more structured and stuff like that. But it's just figuring out like the editing and stuff like that and how long it takes and remembering. I'll remember now this week how to upload everything to all the different places. But I would last Saturday or whenever I released episode 2, I was doing 70 down a dual with my phone in my hand, trying to get it onto Apple Podcasts on time. So it's just remembering the processes and everything and how to get everything uploaded in time.
Just don't worry about doing that. Let's be safe and take a bit more time.
Yeah, don't condone that.
Definitely not.
Absolutely not. Good. I'm obsessed with the data at the moment, and And every day I'm like logging on and checking. And it's funny because episode 2 was done better than episode 1 across all the platforms. And no offense, Nicky Bennett, but hopefully this one smashes number 2 out of the park as well.
Exactly. That's the way we wanted to go now, week by week. More people hearing about us and giving us a listen.
We've got fans of all ages, and we wanted to give a shout out to our youngest fan who makes sure it's on the telly in his living room every weekend. I don't know how Scott and Ailey feel about us being on the TV, but I'll be great.
Yeah, big shout out, Albie.
Keep it up, Albie. Well done. Telford, we spoke about last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
How did it
go? Great weekend, good laugh for the boys. Like I say, 7 of us went up from the Sunday Club mob, and yeah, it was a good chat and travel up and good banter on a Saturday. We had a hotel obviously overnight because the race is on a Sunday morning and it's like 3 hours away. Yeah, great weekend. My race didn't go as planned. I had a bit of a bonk and a bit of a bad race, but I don't know, mate. Just it's a fast race as we discussed the week before, but obviously everyone went out. I was all right for a mile or two on my target pace. And I just started to feel that it wasn't there and it was going to be a long day. And in the middle 2 miles, just went through halfway, bang on what I wanted to 18:30, which would give me just 37, but I just couldn't hold it. Died a bit, brought it back a little bit, but yeah, it was still a good race, good experience to be amongst that sort of level of athlete. Like Mark Scott won it, people will have heard of him, Nike and NN running team. And the other boys went really well.
Yeah, it's been a big year though, isn't it? Like I said, for you, it's just wrapping up. It's only a little bump in the road to a year. You've got stuff you needed to do as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. Obviously, when you cross that line, you're a bit disappointed and only one more. But no, all in all, it was just a good experience. Like I say, going up with the boys, sort of a weekend away. The other boys ran well, like Matt Vran, PB'd, Matt Harvey, PB'd, Butler, PB'd 30:07, but he was still gutted, which is mental. But that's how stacked it was. Like the top 50 went sub 30.
I know. I can't believe when you told me that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, mad. And it's not even I wouldn't say it's a perfectly fast course.
No.
But just it's the level of athletes to say it's amazing.
Just pushes you more then, I guess, you imagine, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just get towed along, it's just mad. Even where I was towards the back, I'd say back third or back quarter of the pack of the race we were all in, and there was just people, continuous line of people all the way, little gaps, but mad. Another good run as well, who was with us up there, Dewi Griff, back in 28 minutes, or do you think he came 5th overall? He was right up there pushing him. He ran really well. Good to see him back.
He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? I think did he come second in Richard Burton this year as well?
Second? No, he won it.
Didn't he? Sorry, don't hold that against me when you come on at some point as well.
Yeah,
well done. But I'm not surprised to see Varane PB in as well. I'm fed up with seeing him at the top of the list on the Strava group as well. So
yeah,
Matt Varane give someone else a chance now.
Yeah, maybe he'll have a couple of weeks now down period and give someone else top spot.
Yeah, we need to touch in with the Arda geezer as well, but I forgot to say something before we started. Casey Neistat has finally run under the 3 hours as well.
Yeah, good to see that. That was on a weekend. That was a bit of a surprise because after New York, when he came close again,
he hasn't been posting anything, has he?
No, and then like out of the blue that was, and what did he get? 257, 258?
257 or something. Yeah, I know he had to bust his balls to get it, didn't he? From I seen his post, and he pretty much had to sprint finish for quite far, I think.
Yeah, but he's been like
Yeah,
trying far since he started, didn't he? And fair play to him.
Manly walked with you, didn't he? And bonked a little bit on you, not bonked, but he didn't quite make it.
He didn't run it with me, but yeah, he was
No.
there. Like, yeah. But he wasn't far off. He thought he got it, didn't he? But like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Chip Time said
time,
yes. I think Watch said yes. Chip said no, I think, wasn't it? Class.
Yeah, it's good to see him under it. Get it.
Yeah, Case, we wouldn't mind having you on as well, so keep up the running.
Yeah.
That'll probably be a dream guest, actually, because not for the running, but because of all, he's like a good, massive content creator and YouTuber and everything as well, which is something I like to nerd out on as well, isn't it?
It is. Get you right juices flowing, and then me for the running side of it. Running chat.
Double threat.
Yeah. Back to Ardis Geezer, though. He's now into Ivory Coast.
Did you Drogba territory?
Did he Drogba territory with a nice 30 miler this morning? He done, didn't he? I've just seen that on his Strava. Yeah. So still getting it done.
So he's going where he needs it. Where's he getting a haircut? He's getting a haircut somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah, soon.
He needs a haircut.
He does need a haircut. And that beard that's gone like a lion's mane. It's mental.
Yeah. But he's going really well. Did he say
he's back.
A shortcut? Is he a shortcut? He's taking a shortcut. Well, he is running the length of Africa, so
we'll allow it.
Yeah. There we are. Right, I'm going to send the link out to Kyle. And then we'll get Kyle on. We've got Kyle, a bit different this week, innit?
Yeah, a bit different for us, obviously a bit out of our depth with Kyle, I would say, is more of he's a great runner, great cyclist and great swimmer, so triathlon's his game. So a bit different this week, a bit chat about the lot and the dark side.
Yeah, so I'm going to send him the link and then we'll get him on. Here we are, Kyle Blackmore. Kyle, the Mumbles Duathlon course record holder, NFT and Brav athlete, Kona qualifier, multiple 70.3 podiums and wins. Anything else to say about yourself?
So all around good guy, I think.
All around good guy. Coach, did you miss Coach?
Oh, I missed out Coach. Yeah.
Also Coach.
How's it going?
Kyle? All right, guys. All right. Like you can see, my voice is a bit croaky, so forgive me.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll plough on now.
Exactly. So, triathlon, Kyle. I don't know if you know, me and Nicky have done triathlon in the past, but not to your level. But before triathlon, you played a bit of rugby, done a bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I think growing up all the way through sort of teenagers, I was played high level rugby union, rugby league, Wales GB caps, involved in the Ospreys. I was a semi-professional with the Celtic Crusaders down in Bridgend. And this was then up until sort of university time. And it sort of fizzled out a bit. Came back, played in the Welsh Premiership, the Championship for the Quins. And then, like I said to you earlier, sort of entered a 10K. I think it was the Buff 10K up in Avon.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, just sort of dipped my toes in it and just got addicted then and just fell down the rabbit hole. And as the rest is history.
As you do, as everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to dive into today, is the rabbit hole and the triathlon background. So it all started, same as a lot of triathletes maybe, and a lot of endurance athletes with lockdown.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, lockdown, we had so much time on our hands. Just before lockdown entered, I'm in Wales with my brother-in-law, Ryan George. Yeah. I wasn't too keen, but he sort of pushed me over the edge and I said, we'll enter it. Obviously, that year it got cancelled because of COVID. And then perhaps if it didn't get cancelled that year, it might have been a one and done. But I think the more I got into it and to see yourself progressing all the time, you just get addicted to it.
Yeah, because you had 2 years to train for one event then, really, didn't you? So it's like, let's really see what we can do, like, was it?
Yeah, I mean, the first year we didn't have any events because that was sort of peak COVID, so it was just getting out training and things like that. Second year we it was sort of drippers of events, got involved in those, and I see I'm quite decent here, like, and yeah, like you said, it's how I imagine a sort of a method would feel with the addiction, like you just see yourself getting better and better all the time, and yeah, you can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vicious little circle, isn't it? Because then you keep getting better, and we dive into everything else a bit more as well. But then, like you said on WhatsApp, I need better gear, I need a better bike, I need better training, I need better shoes, everything.
Yeah. Well, like I told you, sort of my first taste of triathlon was the Mumble Sprint triathlon, and my first bike I picked it up for like £350 from the cash generator in town. I had like a cheap Speedo wetsuit and a pair of Asics from the Pines, like. And then
It's his first stop for new runners, isn't it?
It is, like, it's like Kyle said, when you don't know and you just get into it, anything will do. And then that's what starts it. You get good at it, or you see yourself can progress, or you get addicted. And obviously I can imagine like triathlon is a multi-sport event like that is like so, like obviously Kyle, as we know and go on to, is very good at all three. And like with me, it's just the running and like how much I love and put the effort into that, and like any little progression and competing, it gives that so much buzz on the competing side of it as well. You're just competing against others and yourself, and it's like, how better can you be?
yeah, and I think that's the sort of pull of it. I think you see a lot of people who get into triathlon now come from sort of team sport backgrounds where they've had enough sort of thing. Don't really want to put the body on the line every weekend, so they get into triathlon. And like I said, they get addicted to seeing themselves getting better. Sort of the lifestyle changes a bit. Sort of have a big health kick, and it's great. Like you see it at my stake now. They've got a My Stake Triathlon Club just kicked off, and it's gone from strength to strength with a lot of youngsters coming in from ex-rugby players and things like that. Like,
yeah, it's great.
Younger, isn't they?
Go on, Black. What do you say?
I said they're getting younger, isn't they? The triathletes now as well.
Yeah, so they're all having a go at it. Like I said, it's people are coming from being like got out on the piss every weekend or whatever, or playing team sports, and then going into that, and then it flips on his head. Then you don't want to go out for a beer because it's going to affect what we do in the next day or the next week. Like,
yeah. So I've had physio for Ryan a couple of times, and he was obviously mentioned. He'd say about the intensity of training for an Ironman and stuff like that. But we done a sprint sleep when you're dead one, didn't we? We were winging him. But so what's the training look like? That 2 years you had then, when you've just built this monster, really, haven't you?
I think with like an Olympic and a sprint, you can get away with the sort of bare minimum and get through it. Like, but when you talk about the 70.3s and Ironman distances, I mean, you need to train your body to handle that sort of load. Nicky knows he trains for a marathon. It's a big ask. Like, you need to put the work in. There's no hiding from it. And you look at who's the guy, the world record 10k holder, Cheptegei, is it?
Yeah, great example.
He ran a marathon the other day. His world record 10k holder, and he was falling over the line and he finished nowhere in the field.
Yeah, so 209 and he carried over more or less.
It's just durability and so specific training that you can't just wing it, sort of thing, especially for the Ironman distance. So when it comes to sort of, I'd probably go into later, but I coach. I've got a range of athletes from bare beginners to people who are competing for podiums, and it's the ones who are just starting out. That's sort of the ones you want to watch, because you've got to sort of implement a progression, and you obviously can't go running so hard on the body. If you're going to have the mileage straight away, you're knackered, like, and you're not even going to make it to the start line. So
yeah, it's a science, isn't it, as well?
Oh yeah. And, especially with you're talking new athletes. I try to avoid intensity on the run, especially if I haven't got a running background, because like I said, it's so hard on the body, where you sort of substitute that for intensity on the bike, and you work in the same systems. So, and I suppose that's the difference between training for running and training for triathlon. You're always, if you're a runner, you're going to have a rest day. You can't run every day of the week.
No.
You're just going to put yourself in a hole or get injured, whereas triathletes, you're always doing something, you're always working the system. And some of these guys now are absolute monsters. Like, there's a guy, the Telford 10K you did last weekend, Nick. There's a guy who won Weymouth 70.3, the one I done. I finished second behind him. And he ran 30.50 there in Telford. Like.
Is that Lepetri?
Sorry?
Is it Lepetri?
No, Stephen Derrett. He he runs for Western Tempo or something, but he's a triathlete and he ran a 30.50. Like. Crazy.
Mad. It's crazy.
I've noticed that as well, because I'm doing some training with Steve now, with E3, and I had to, Steve's got best intentions, but he's another beast, another different animal, isn't he? But he had me doublers. I don't do doublers. I barely get what I have to do in that day. But I've seen in real time what it looks like to be a triathlete and an Ironman or whatever in black and white, and I was like, I don't think that's for me right now. But it is intense, isn't it? It takes up a lot of time. Massive equipment as well, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you sort of want to compete, then you sort of at the point at the end. I mean, it's
in the light.
It's pretty non-stop, but someone like you could probably get away with doing the bare minimum, sort of one session a day, and see massive gains because you're new to it, sort of thing, and just consistency.
Yeah, I've seen mad. I texted my brother the other day because he started running a little bit as well now. And I was a big mess when I Cardiff off and reined it in a little bit then for Richard Burton. But Steve's got me running 10Ks on a slide without even telling me in the training plans now. And I'm finishing my run with intervals or whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's pretty much 10K in an hour. And it's like,
yeah,
and out on a slide without telling me.
Yeah, I seen a good sort of analogy come up on Instagram. I can't remember whose account it was, but it was, if you look at a tub of a toothpaste, right? Yeah. A full tub of toothpaste is the beginner athlete, and then you've got a tub of toothpaste with hardly anything left. You can press the tub of toothpaste that's full anywhere and get toothpaste out of it, which is just consistency, yeah? But then the tub of toothpaste where there's hardly anything left, you've got to press it in specific places to get it out. So that's the difference between an experienced athlete and a beginner. So you can get away with the bare minimum and do anything when you're a beginner, and you're going to get better. Yeah.
It's the same as I've done weight loss journeys in the past as well, isn't it? And you lose the weight, you lose the weight, and then when there's less weight to lose and there's less gains to make, then that's where you've got to plateau and change approach and stuff as well, isn't it?
Harder. Yeah.
It's like the melting ice cube analogy that I cannot remember for the life of me. But it's not it's all the heat before this melted the ice cube, not the last bit of heat or something like that anyway. Maybe we'll cut that bit out.
That wasn't as good as
So you're in deep now, aren't you? Triathlete. What's your strongest discipline?
100% the bike. Sort of every race, my race sort of starts on the bike. That's when I get to work and I just pick people off. And usually I'm up there with one of the fastest bike splits. So I don't know why. I don't do any sort of set the world alight sessions or anything. It's just it just must be sort of natural. And I get at a minute in the winter, I hate riding a bike. So I hate riding on the indoor trainer. Yeah. So at the moment, running is my favourite thing to do. It's so easy. You just chuck a pair of trainers on, off you go.
I say no, you don't. And it's a safety thing as well for you in the winter. You guys on the bikes, rubbish anyway. Then you've got the weather. Then you've got idiot drivers. It's like three things you've got to worry about there, isn't it?
Oh, it's ridiculous. So every time you go out on the road, you get some sort of incident or a close call. But I just bought a gravel bike, so I've been doing bits of that over the winter. But come the summer now, I'll be out on the TT bike, and that's what I love. That's when I'll put the work in then. But like I said, I struggled big time during this period just to get on the turbo trainer for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
So to put it into context, that's probably like a treadmill for me, innit? It's just so boring. so
Yeah.
repetitive. It's just like I can't get my head around it. And it's
You
worse
put,
on the bike. You've got to probably
yeah.
do like 2, 3, 4 hours on it, wouldn't you, to get a good session?
Yeah, you put a YouTube channel on or something, or a film, you just your head goes, man. 2 hours is max for me. I can't handle it.
That's mad, like the same. I can't do.
No. So, bike, you mountain biked as well, didn't you? I found out the other day when I was diving through your Strava. Does that make it? Is that relevant?
I'd say 100% in terms of handling. There's some of these courses, like you look at I'm on Wales and Swansea, got steep descents, tight turns, and I'm flying down them, like, because I've got that handling background. But you might find people who are only trained sort of on the indoor trainer, and they come to a tight turn or a steep downhill, and they're on the brakes, losing loads of speed. Like, so I'd say definitely.
Yeah, technical that's helping as well, and I suppose technically, because like downhill mountain biking, you've got that confidence in yourself, knowing.
Yeah. And you sort of know where to carry speed through corners and things like that, like, and where to brake, not to brake. So yeah, definitely I'd say it would have benefited triathlon.
Yeah. Bike and swimming and running is not far behind either. You're pretty much good all rounder, and very, very good all rounder. Fair to say.
Last season, I mean, I put in some decent swims in. I did Cotswolds 113, which is a good race. And I was first out the water. Wales, I went 57 minutes. And this year, then, obviously broke my collarbone, and my brother-in-law Ryan, he's a physio, and he sort of looked at it now, and he's saying it's broken on the sort of the sternum joint. So he said, like my scapula then is moving differently, and I found since I've been coming back, I'm really struggling to hit the same sort of paces. So I don't know if it's just a change in swimming's so technical. I think any little change is going to affect you. Like,
yeah, swimming stresses me out. Like, that's in my training at the moment as well. And I've never been able to get my head around swimming. If I remember when we done Sleep When You're Dead, it's just, I don't understand how to breathe or anything. It's just so many different functions.
So what are you doing that for then? Is just like you doing that for a bit of cross training, you?
Yeah, just something to tick over as well, innit?
Yeah. You on a bike as well?
Yeah.
He's doing some indoor stuff, you know.
What bike? I'm doing what bike? I'm doing swimming and I'm doing running, but I'm not doing triathlon next year.
Yeah.
That's really pushing you though, innit? That's what he's trying with that, chucking them in.
Yeah, I'm keeping him at an arm's length with that at the moment. But I don't know, never say never. It's like it's good for your lifestyle, like you said earlier though, Kyle, innit? The lifestyle changes when you're training and stuff like that.
Especially if you're on a plan. Especially if you're on a plan as well, you got someone to be accountable to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to do it, like, and you don't want to let obviously Steve's your coach, you don't want to let him down either. But
I text him, it's mad because let yourself down, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. I will let myself down all the time. When you get someone else, they can't let Steve down. Absolutely not. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to ruin me.
Yeah, it's like you always thinking, what are you going to think? Like, putting this time and effort into me, and I'm sat there doing nothing, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to waste people's time as well. I got to go out and finish my run from this morning after this now.
You haven't been.
I done one lap. I normally do 2 laps, but it lashed down with rain, and I done 2 laps, so I stopped on the 5th lap. So I got to go and finish it after this now.
Right.
Doctor's orders. Right, back to Kyle anyway.
Yeah.
So, ability. Where do you currently sit then amongst the leading amateurs?
Well, probably most races I'd back myself to be in the mix 100%, but then you get the odd race where there's levels, and like I said, that's the guy who ran in Telford. He turned up to Weymouth, and then he's running. I think he ran. I had the second fastest bike split there, but he ran like 7 minutes into me. He ran the 116 off a bike again.
That's crazy.
It's brilliant. There's another guy there. John Thelwell, he used to be a professional, but he sort of gave up his licence. I went too far. I think I was only 2 minutes behind him overall, but he's gone on to get his pro licence again now. He won the overall I'm on Florida, I think. So I am in the mix, like.
Yeah, you're always thereabouts. So, like in Wales this year, like obviously we went down to watch, and what was it, about 6 sevens after the bike?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
that was mad as well, Nick, because like you just said, with your injury, how you even got to the start line was just incredible. Like,
Yeah, I think
2 months.
I had a sort of backup plan if I weren't going to do Wales and do Ironman Cascais in Portugal.
Yeah.
So I broke my collarbone in July. I missed Swansea 70.3. I couldn't do that. I hadn't been on the bike, on my TT bike, until sort of mid-August because I couldn't get down into position. And I think I started swimming two weeks before Ironman Wales, and I hadn't got the distance in either. But I thought, right, I'm going to do it. I'm feeling decent, like. And I don't know if you know Nathan Ford, who runs it, NFT. But Nathan had a bike accident, and he unfortunately can't do any races anymore and things. But so he's always in the back of my mind thinking, what would he do? Like, he'd want to get out there. So yeah, I went out there and just gave it a good nudge, and I think not having the big block of sort of July, August of running off the bike, and like we said about the marathon, is durability, getting that in the legs and things. I come off the bike in the heat as well. It just fell to pieces, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was boiling off. Fair play.
Yeah. You hadn't trained in that heat. That was like unprecedented that day, wasn't it? It was 10 degrees hotter than it'd been all year, more or less, I think.
Yeah, look at Ollie Simon, the guy, he led the whole race, and he ended up walking, yeah. And he said no one could have prepared for that heat, sort of thing. And especially if you're racing an Ironman at the point at the end, you're on the limit, like. So
yeah. Fair play, Duke. You can get there, mate. To watch as well, like, so see on that bike, he was flying around there.
I'm looking aggressive on a bike up that hill, wasn't it? One-handed.
Once you come up sort of Heartbreak Hill, you see everyone, and literally you float the bit. Like, you don't notice you're pushing like massive. You're pushing watt bombs up there. You don't even notice.
Yeah,
it's like that's like my favourite like day of the year.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason you want to do it, isn't it? You'll go through the 12 hours pain to have a zipped up Heartbreak Hill.
It's unreal, like, it's just like Tour de France going up there. It's mental. Everyone's loving it.
Honest God, you've ridden it, so you go down there to practice riding it, and come to race day, and you PBing up there, like, when you don't even notice, you fly up there.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's good because they're far away as well now. NFT colours are a bit easier, innit? But we were watching the Wolfpack as well, and we?
Yeah.
Ben Staff on the app, he wasn't coming up or anything. We thought he'd like disqualified or something, or flag puncture. And then you see, like, in the distance, think, is that a mistake try? And then it's Ben Staff coming back from the dead, and everyone's like, Bayou was flying up there as well.
Yeah, everyone's loving it for everyone, and like, it's just crazy.
I think Swansea, it's gone so big in South Wales. Like, I think Swansea Vale Tri, they've got over 350 members. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, wild, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge, you know.
When you come back to what we said at the beginning, everyone seems to sort of be dipping their toes into it now and trying to have a go at it. Like,
yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, isn't it? I mean, like I said, lockdown was massive for endurance sports and for Zoom and Microsoft Teams. They are the biggest beneficiaries of it. Like,
yeah.
Well, I think since lockdown, especially the age group field, it's just leveled up massively. Like, basically training like pros for 2 years in lockdown. Yeah. And then since when lockdown stopped, they still working from home, so it's a lot more flexible than it would have been. So, like I said, they're training like pseudo pros, really, the top guys.
It is, like you said, like, if you want to compete towards that front end, which obviously you were there and thereabouts and on podiums and things in age groups, it's like you got to be putting that work in, because you know everyone else is. So if you want to stay there and keep pushing up, you've got to keep doing it, like, and into it.
But yeah, you're right, because Ironman, everyone's on the track, and it's always whatever WhatsApp groups you're in. You're like, ever seen Kylie's absolutely flying, create excitement throughout WhatsApp groups, being a local boy that's flying you and all the way as well. It's like, Jesus Christ, the guy's a tank, both of them.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely unfinished business down in Tenby, and I've entered for next year, but me and Kate are having another baby in June, so I don't know what.
Are you?
June. So it's right in the middle of the biggest months of training, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to go, but I'll be in work all week. On a weekend, they'll be like, "Oh, right, babe, I'm going out for 6 hours on a bike now. You got 2 kids in there." It's like,
2 kids.
my God, having 2 kids is easy.
Yeah. Probably last one promising, isn't it?
Yeah, last one.
You have got
Don't go
unfinished
back.
business, though, because in my eyes, when you got off that bike, you were placing top 5 this year.
Oh yeah, I know. My running could have been better this year than it was last year. I think I was aiming for, my goal for the whole season was to podium in Ironman Wales. Like, but then obviously I had the crash, and I still had it in the back of my mind. I think that's why then they're just too sort of stubborn to not to let it go, like with a what if sort of thing.
You need to be that stubborn to be the athlete you are as well, or don't you? So it comes this gift and a curse, innit? Being stubborn like that.
Yeah. So next year I've got Outlaw full, which is up in Nottingham. That's the end of July. Obviously the baby's due in June, and then Wales in end of September. So
staying in the UK.
Don't know whether I sort of try and peak for that July race or before the baby comes, and then just take over until that July race. And maybe have a look at different options for Wales. I don't know, but I don't want to go into Wales undercooked again, sort of thing.
Yeah, don't give it another good crack, like thinking in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're pretty good now. Ironman, you can defer to the year after, or you can get a free transfer. You get a free transfer to someone else. Like this year when I didn't do Swansea, I had a free transfer to Weymouth. Yeah.
They're selling everything out this year. Yeah, I've been seeing every week this week, the last couple of weeks, Ironman posting sell out this, sell out that.
Yeah, well, I think Wales is sold out now, but I think that was because Ironman Ireland, that's been knocked on the head because of those 2 people died, didn't they?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think, Holloway was he had his hopes up for doing Ireland and Wales, but they cancelled it. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, so more people now are obviously jumping on Wales, and even though Wales does pretty much, does it sell out most years? I think it does, doesn't it? It always seems to.
But it's the only full distance now in the UK. Well, Bolton's not happening anymore. So
right.
No.
Yeah, that was the last one last year, I think.
Yeah. Temby's going to be packed, Black. We're going to have to go down even earlier to get a spot on the hill.
But I told you this year, it was like I was getting up to go on holidays. I was up before my alarm at 4 o'clock in the morning, waiting on the corner of the street to pick me up. It's class day. It must be, I can't imagine how much better it is, like zipping around the place on your feet and on a bike and swimming, because I was just buzzing watching.
This year, that the swim start, especially we got sunrise, you had those parachuters, and it's like a cold run there, like with everyone just watching. I do 100% not going to get a better race start than that anywhere.
It was pretty perfect on it. It was class.
Yeah.
Standing it.
It was a class. Really enjoyed that day. Really. I did understand as well how enthusiastic Nicky Bennett gets about everything. Very enthusiastic man.
Yes.
Right. So, you've qualified for World's qualifier as well. Perfect. And speaking about Ironman selling out, it's probably a good time to talk about the expense and the financial commitment that Ironman is as well.
Yeah.
Because your first bike, 350, but you're not riding that anymore.
Well, this is what happened. I had that bike from Cash Generator. I had it for a bit, and like I said, then Mumble Sprint, and I got sucked into the rabbit hole a little bit more on eBay. Then looking at frames and bikes and things. How can I get away with this now without my missus knowing I'm having a new bike? So I bought a carbon frame of the same bike that I had. The bike I had was an alloy one, and then just put all the parts on it, and then thought she wouldn't find out, but it was my other one was green and this one was blue, so she did find out, and she had the roof like.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that was that, and then I got even sucked in. A couple of more months went down the line, got sucked into it again, started doing some TTs, and got a TT bike. And then I think I want my second TT bike now, but it's just so you just get sucked into it, man. It's crazy.
They're good to shift. And your first TT bike, I guess you made some money back on then shifting that, or is it hanging up in the garage?
Yeah, you sort of sell it. Either if you can't sell a frame, just sell it for parts, or just buy your frame and put the parts on from the old one, sort of thing. Like, but my bike now is most of the things on my bike now are second hand. I bought off eBay or Facebook. The only things that are new would be like the chain, the tyres, and the cockpit type of thing. But to get people dropping 12 grand on new TT bikes, no problem, like crazy.
It is.
But then, like, so someone then would have a 12 grand TT, but they'd have a road bike as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and if they ride it about on a 12 grand TT bike, the road bike's probably going to be 6-7 grand.
Yeah.
So, and most of these guys are sort of mid pack or even nowhere near, like just got money to throw about.
Yeah,
It's mental.
Oh, I haven't, like, as well, some of them, innit? It's mad. What?
Yeah, like you go on.
Go on.
So you look at you turn up to an Ironman sort of transition, and there's how much money's worth the bikes. Most of the, like I said, are mid pack or even nowhere near. You just wish that they'd focus on the 99% rather than that 1%. Like it'd be better served if they just did the training and had a normal bike and get around sort of thing. I think people get caught up.
Like make it that much quicker.
Yeah, I think people get caught up in the marketing and things like that. Well, like I said, it'd be much better served just putting the training in, putting the effort in, and you're going to be quicker, like, than just buying a new bike isn't a magic pill sort of thing, like.
Definitely not.
No.
Can't pay yourself.
But Nick, you've only got to pay. So Nick, you did see was it episode 1? Yeah, episode 1. Nicky was justifying the trainers £1 a mile, £300, 300 miles for the Nikes.
Like carbons, yeah.
It must be costing a fortune to finish an Ironman per mile.
Well, look, I was trying to calculate earlier. You're looking an Ironman race. You're going to want to go into it with new tyres, new chain. Just say new tyres, 65 quid each at least. New chain, 60 quid. Just nutrition to get around where people recommend 90 grams of carbs an hour. Say the gels they use are 3 quid each. Talking for a 10-hour Ironman, that's 90 quid, like, just for nutrition for the day. And don't forget, you do a month of training before that as well. So if you're using that nutrition to train as well, it's costing you a fortune.
Yeah. And like even like the stuff they grab in the house in the weekly food shop now as well.
Oh, it's mental. I did dabble in. So if you look at the ingredients of gels and sort of powders, you can buy the raw ingredients from places like bulk powders and things. So like you buy a bag of fructose and maltodextrin and mix it up yourself. I did do that for a bit, and it's way more cost effective. But it's just an headache just to mix them up and get the weighing scales out in the kitchen. Like.
Just to do it, yeah. The Welsh runner was doing that for a bit as well. He dabbled in like gels or whatever it was to take because of the costs. Don't know if he's still doing it.
It takes away valuable training time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But like I said, you've got all those costs just for race day on top of race entry, and then for example 10B, you've got accommodation and travel as well. You're not going to get it anywhere unless you got you've got a camper van, but you'd be lucky to get it anywhere in 10B for less than 500 quid, like, for the weekend.
Definitely.
No, we fly in and out, don't we? We drive in and drive home, like usually. It's so expensive to stay down, and it's sold out straight away. But you can't be driving down and driving home on the same night when you're doing zipping around there in 10 hours as well.
Yeah.
It's just a vicious circle, isn't it? You get in now, you're in the rabbit hole, and it's like, I gotta get better. And then other people go, I want to be like him. And it's a massive vicious circle. And Ironman, fair play as a brand, are just counting the dollars going into their bank account, aren't they?
At the end of the day, they're a business, aren't they? So don't get me wrong, you won't. Yeah, there are other sort of iron distance events in the UK and around the world, but you won't get a better event than an Ironman event. I'll give them that. Like, but,
yeah, they seem
close. But they did it. Go on.
Is Outlaws the same but different? And that's triathlon as well. Is that close or is it different?
Yeah, Outlaw, they're a good event. They're a British company, and I think they look after the athletes. It's a more sort of family feel to it type of thing. And they look after, you've got the options for deferrals and transfers. I think they've put out today that they've got the pregnancy sort of clause thing. So if you enter and you get pregnant or whatever, you can just drop out, do it next year, which is brilliant.
That's really good at it, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of the running companies, like the big events, have only recently, like some of the big majors, only recently they've started doing that. They were on a lot of heat for not allowing that, and I think it was this year, Boston and Chicago. I think only this year they've brought that in them. Like, so, for someone like a local company, a British company like that to be doing it is good. That is, and he should be doing it, obviously.
Yeah. But I think it's at the moment this sort of hard. It's hard for events companies to see a couple of people going under. You've seen, look at Tough Runner or Run Haven. They're the ones who run Beast of Britain and things. They've just gone under.
Yeah.
So yeah, it must be tough to be an events company, but Ironman are a global brand, isn't they? So
yeah, it'll take a lot for them to vanish off the face of the earth now, won't it? But they were small ones as well, probably, weren't they? With the first, I don't know, you'd have to look into it, but their first ones were probably just a couple of hundred as well, weren't they?
Yeah, but I think they've got. If you think of doing a full distance triathlon, you automatically think of Ironman, don't you? They've got it sewn up like, and people are having an Ironman tattoo on them. It's basically the same as having a Nike logo tattooed, isn't it? It's a brand, like
branding, isn't it? It is.
So yeah, they've got it sewn up really. I don't think anyone. They'll always keep running, I think.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. So it's expensive to compete and get on a podium and stuff like that. But another thing that's kind of rife in amateur sport now as well is cheating and doping and stuff like that as well. You see the cheating in running as well, people having taxis and that.
Yeah.
But this is a taxi game.
Yeah.
You got there was the one who did the quickest lap of Roth Lake in Cardiff Half this year. Too fast for the cameras.
Yeah, too fast for the cameras, Mr. Daniels.
Yeah, mental. Well, I was looking earlier, and it said Kona 2018, three athletes got pinged onto testing. So they are testing, but I don't think the sort of testing is robust enough to catch everyone. I think if you look at this, they've caught these 3 people. And like I said, they haven't even got a big sort of testing program in place. So that's just a tip of the iceberg, like. And these are for anabolic steroids or EPO and things. But I think, like I said, people looking for the easy way out sort of thing, or recognition. I don't know, but and then that's just amateurs, and you've got pros then, which is always under the microscope. And you see me running, you look at people from Kenya and Ethiopia, you always get people pinged, don't you?
Oh, there's so many, and lately, there's probably obviously not as many as we know about, but yeah, this. I
was thinking, if someone just goes out to Kenya and tries recruiting like a Kenyan runner, they're not going to say no if they say, "Oh, take us." They promise them a good life, like. So
exactly.
I don't think it's the athlete. I think it's just pressure from coaches and things.
Dangerous people in there that can get involved as well.
Yeah.
People with bad intentions using, like you said, dangling the carrot, a really good carrot.
But the thing I bet with I bet like some of the boys, people that are women as well, that are close to that sort of qualifying for a Kona or a 7.3 world champs, they're close or not quite making that breakthrough. It's probably that's some people, I wouldn't do it. My mindset wouldn't be. My mindset would be work hard. For some people, they could be tempted to just think, is that the last little push I need to get me there? And how am I going to get caught? Am I going to get tested? It's like, do you know what I mean? It could be.
I think even more so in definitely age group triathlon. I think it's definitely prevalent there. But you're talking to professional athletes, especially second tier ones. There's no money in it for them unless they're winning races or they got big sponsors or a big YouTube following. So they're always going to be looking for, right, I need a big performance here to get noticed and earn some money, like, because most of these professionals are probably on their arse, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we said. You're probably better off being a good amateur with a good job than you are being a professional, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you look at professionals, most British ones anyway, unless you're not a top guy, most of them are sort of working part time and then trying to travel across the world and race, like, where They can't be making money. It's not making a living.
No.
And like you said, then it's YouTube, innit? But you haven't got time to train flat out and learn to record it. Like I tried at the start, not to be a world champion triathlete, but YouTube and self-recording and stuff like that and all the editing. There's not enough hours in a day for you to train to be a top triathlete and be a videographer good enough to create videos good enough to go on YouTube and then be able to market it well enough as well. So it must be almost buzzing to be a professional triathlete unless you're top of the pops, like.
Right up there.
I know there's a boy from Porthcawl that last year I think he has a pro license. He's always grown up in triathlon elite level, like GB proper team. When he's younger, I think he took his pro license for long distance racing. He did the season in it, and he knocked it on the head because he sort of lost the love for it. Like there's so much pressure on getting results. So what's he getting from being a professional? Like
having that money, like to keep yourself going as well.
Like financially, it's very probably similar to playing semi-pro rugby now as well, isn't it? And you're probably better off having a good job and playing semi-pro in the Premiership than playing for the Ospreys, the Dragons, and not playing for Wales or anything.
Well, yeah, definitely, especially now with the WRU in turmoil. Like, but yeah, it's probably the same, and you probably get less money these pros if you're not winning races. They turn up the races and getting nowhere near the field. Like, I think I think the biggest races only pay sort of 10 deep or something like that. So they use all this expense to get there and travel abroad to race, and you're not getting anything for it. Like,
it's mad when you think about it. The amount and the outlay, or like for running, you're just knocking out 300 quid a pair of trainers every 300 miles. Do you know what I mean? But when you're taking everything in, your wetsuits are 200-300 quid just to get entry level in it.
Entry level, yeah, but you pay like $1,000 for a top level wetsuit. It's mental. You look at the running races, pay £6 for entry fee, like, or you get £2 off then, whether if you're affiliated.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
And then a sprint triathlon, you're talking, you won't get much change from £70 now. Ironman is 500 quid. 7.3 is not much less than 400 quid.
A lot of money.
Qualify for the world champs, and you got to pay 1,500 quid there and then, like, take a spot.
You get or leave it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's almost like a pyramid scheme, nearly, innit? You know, like I said, here you are, come to Kona, become a world champion.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to do it. Like
well, some people live and breathe it. Some people, that's all they want to do. But like for me personally, I got a young family and things. For me to go to Kona, it would be £1,500 entry fee before you start. Get to Hawaii, watch those flights, probably the best part of £4,000, £5,000 for the three of us.
Yeah.
You could probably put a new extension on the house, like for the price it costed me to take a family over, or go on a lovely family holiday somewhere. Like it's just for me, it's not worth it. It's not something that I'm not bothered about, to be honest. Just knowing that
craving for like
no,
just knowing that I'm.
It's like we said the other day.
Just knowing that.
Go on, you go, Kyle.
I'm just saying that just knowing that I'm competitive enough to do it, that's enough for me. Like, I'm not bothered about going to. I'd probably go to Hawaii. I'm absolutely shocking in the heat. I fall a bit, so I'd probably go there and have an awful race, and I'd be getting that I've put all that money out, like.
And ruin everyone's holiday.
Yeah. Wouldn't talk to my missus for 2 weeks.
But like we said the other day, Nick, you were lucky you had the kids young and you've been able to afford to do all the majors now in your 40s and stuff like that. Yeah. Who knows how compared to where you are in 10, 15 years as well, Kyle? Because how old you're still quite young, aren't you?
32 now.
Yeah, so I mean, 10 years, 15 years, still in the mix, age group wise, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, look at Steve. How old is he? 40 now. He's looking to go to the world champ now. Yeah,
plenty of time, man. There we are. We spoke about the expenses and everything. You were quite luckier than most, maybe, with coaching and your relationship with Brav as well. Do you want to explain to us a little bit about how they work and stuff like that? You're coaching mainly, but what you do with Brav as well?
Yeah, so start with Brav. I met Adam back about 3 years ago, I think, when he was just doing socks type of thing. Yeah, he's just gone from strength to strength, and the business has gone from strength to strength. He had a really good job in Tata Steel, and he knocked it on the head to take it on full time. And since they sort of released the Team Brav thing, then I think it's just rocketed. So to have Adam there supporting me for kit and just general morale and things like that, you're talking. That's the other thing, kit as well. Cycling kit's not cheap. As soon as you put a bike in the conversation, the prices are through the roof. Like, so yeah, it's been a godsend really.
There we are. They've got some nice stuff as well, haven't they, Brav? I got a hat and some socks, and they're quite comfy.
Oh, every sort of new season or new line they bring out is better than the last. So he's always looking to sort of always looking to be at the point at the end and bring something out that people are gonna love. Like, I think he pretty much got a market sewn up in South Wales. I think he got all the custom kit with all the different tribe clubs. So yeah, I think world domination is his end goal type of thing. But I don't know where this going to happen.
But if he wants to add podcasters into his stable as well, me and Nicky are always willing to wear some Brav on a podcast ad. And what about coaching and Team NFT?
Well, NFT came through Brav actually. I know Adam made sort of running hats for NFT after Nathan's accident to raise money.
I remember that socks to raise money as well.
Yeah, and socks and hats. And I think he raised incredible amount of money, I think. And how I got involved with Nathan then was he sort of offered to coach people in the team, like in Team Brav, and I couldn't sort of turn it down. So that's where I sort of got involved with Nathan. I sort of had a year under him, and I'd been doing a bit of coaching on the side. I helped Ryan George do Ironman Wales, and I said to Nathan, "Look, I'm looking to go into coaching." He said, "We'd love you to come on as a coach." So I've been doing it for all of this season now, and I've had some great results. And and that's a little bit of a side hustle as well. So it sort of covers race costs and kit costs, which is lucky, really.
Yeah, but like we said, there's people out there that have not got that extra income from coaching, haven't got sponsorship with Brav or any other manufacturers, and are paying through the teeth and it's mad, isn't it? Like, it's a very expensive hobby to be average at. Can be, can't it?
Yeah, but I think that's why a lot of them are sort of middle-aged crisis sort of thing, or it's getting a bit like golf and things like that. Like, it's just people, it's like the in thing to do or whatever. If you're the bloke, like.
Yeah.
But
do you ever see yourself on a golf course instead?
No.
Me either.
No,
I don't like them trousers to work, let alone round a golf course.
Yeah, pretentious rules. Going back to your coaching, Kyle, I was going to ask you, is that as satisfying as competing yourself, like seeing the boys and?
Well, but I missed out on. I missed out on Swansea because I broke my collarbone, and I was absolutely gutted. Like, because I know I would have sort of done well there, but I had a handful of athletes doing it, and honest to God, the buzz of being there that day, watching the boys tracking them, it sort of gave me a better buzz than it would if I was racing it. Like, so I'm lucky in a sense that I got that as well. If as a backup, I'd sort of always be involved in it. Like, but I had boys chasing sort of sub-5 there who just missed out by like 2 minutes. So like, I was giving them splits all the time and things like that. One of the boys, Ryan, he was in a sprint finish with my mate Lewis Richards for 3rd place on the podium. It was proper heart and mouth job, like, and it was awesome.
Fast.
And I had the other time as well was Newport Marathon. I had a few boys doing that. You're tracking and they all going for like sub threes in like a magic number, isn't it? And you like, the last split he's just going to go over, and then he come through the finish and they've just nipped under, like. So it's massive buzz following your athletes and seeing them progress all year, like.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, you can probably see a big with triathlon, the leaps and bounds that people are making. Like, even like the likes of Georgie in it to get around Ironman Wales, because again, he's not from that background.
Georgie had a fantastic result. I think he's 12 hours something, like, and there's no way he should have been running about on a course like Ironman Wales, so hilly. He's a big boy, isn't he, Georgie?
Yeah,
but I think the other massive thing with especially Ironman distance is your mental attitude, and he's got it bucket loads, like. So it's like you figure at the wall, but you haven't. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, like.
Definitely. No, that's class, that is. Like, say, that must be such a buzz seeing your athletes doing so well because they had a good year, didn't they? Like,
look at Rodri Bay last year. He was on a hospital bed. He must have been on his last legs. I think he had an infection or something, and he entered Ironman Wales there and then. So he's gone from being a number 8 or a prop forward to getting around the Wales course in like 14 hours, which is awesome.
Oh, again, that was another one. Great seeing him get around there. Brilliant.
I was in a hole. I was like after I pulled out, but so I was staying in Kiln Park in a van, and I could hear the finish line call them the finishers through, and they said called Rodri Bay, like, and I was absolutely landed for him.
Awesome.
So this year we've kind of touched on the plans. Ironman Wales, fingers crossed, unfinished business, but maybe outlaw in July. That's the plan. 2024, is it?
Yeah, if I can do Ironman Wales without taking a piss with the family, the goal will always be the podium or be in a mix for that, like. And then outlaw, the number 1 goal is to go sub 9 in outlaw. Then it's a nice flat course, so it suits me to the ground with a bike and things. So yeah, sub 9 outlaw, and then Wales, have a good go at that if I can.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It does.
There we are. We'll take a break now and then finish up with some this or that off Nicky and some questions off Instagram. You happy with that?
Happy days, yeah.
Ready. Welcome back. We won't keep you much longer now, Kyle. Got some this or that with Nicky, and then some questions off Instagram, and then we'll wrap it up. Nick?
Yeah, right, Kyle. I got a couple of this or that, so straight up, don't even think about it. Right, first up, Speedos or wetsuit?
Speedo.
The pool or sea?
Sea.
Ooh, nice. A 70.3 or an 100 TT?
100 TT.
Bad man. Run or ride? And remember, you're on a running podcast.
Like I said earlier, at the moment, running. Struggling with a bike.
Top man. Front crawl or a pub crawl?
Depends what time of year it is, but we have to say front crawl.
Right on. Last one, with Temby in mind, the hill or the finish line?
Heartbreak Hill, definitely.
Nice one. They're both pretty cool, aren't they, in fairness, like down there?
Yeah, my first year, when I did it, I didn't even see, you got the first timers, you got the bell, ring the bell, didn't you? Seen them do that? I didn't even see it, I went straight past it, so...
So excited to get that under that big class. This one.
Right, some questions from the question and answer on Instagram. Ever thought about specialising in one of the 3 tri-disciplines?
Yeah, I think this year I did sort of think about doing just TTs and having a good crack at TTs until I sort of thought I had unfinished business with Temby next year. So I would have liked to have had a crack at all the distances. Got some Welsh, I think there's a few Welsh Championships races in the distances, and I if I had a good crack there, I should be in the mix. Like, so that's something I'll definitely be thinking about going forward. Like I said, I just love going fast on the TT bike. Just turn yourself inside out and do carriageways.
Like a bullet.
Plenty still to come. Right, we've got winter indoor training. You said you don't like it, but Zwift or watt bike for winter indoor training?
I haven't got a watt bike. I use my bike, either my road bike or my TT bike on the turbo trainer. So I think a watt bike's good, but you always got the specificity if you're riding your own bike on the turbo, whether it be on Zwift or whatever. But turbo trainer and Zwift for me.
Yeah. Ivan Holloway wants to know who wears more layers on a run, Steve Holloway or Kyle Blackmore?
Definitely not me. Steve Holloway is 0% body fat. He'll go out on a nice autumn morning, mild, 15 degrees, and he'll have his Euro warmers on and 2 pairs of gloves.
100%. Like
he wears 4 pairs.
Yeah.
He wears 4 pairs of gloves on a bike. He does this time of year.
He gets the bearing definitely, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
I said he needs to put a bit of timber on and warm him up, man.
That ain't happening.
No.
You could probably guess who this one's off, or hopefully you can guess who it's off, otherwise it sounds a bit mean. But who is your favourite coached athlete?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I've got, like I said, I've got a good few boys. I think anyone's my favourite. I've had some good results, like at all different levels. So, like I said, I've got some boys podiuming and qualifying for world champs, and other boys from first timers to completing their first Ironman, which in my book is just as good, like as from a coach's perspective, anyway.
Yeah. That was off Ryan anyway.
Oh, Ryan George.
No, Ryan Jones. Ryan James, did it?
Ryan Jones. Right, you know I love you, but.
And my favourite so far to wrap it up from Ben Keogh, when are Attack making a comeback?
Oh, I didn't mention that, did I? Told, you should be in a band, do weddings, birthdays, proper rock star like. So that's another income stream. Look, so might have to do that if they take my sponsorship away from me now.
Yeah, singing, rugby, triathlon. I said to play earlier, you could probably fly a plane just by looking in the cockpit, couldn't you? You're one of them, like.
I wouldn't. No, though it's funny. I wouldn't jump up on a stage and say I used to do it sober, like, and I wouldn't get up on it now unless I've had 5 or 6 pints.
What music was it? Well, what would you sing?
What the people want, really. Anything, or whatever.
Absolutely.
If you think of a wedding or a birthday party, whatever make a crowd thick, we had that set, like, so all covers it was.
Class. Sorry, I interrupted you, but we're up to 1:15. Hopefully people have listened to the end, because you know what it's like with a podcast, but I really enjoyed. It's been a good chat. And we'll chop it up and guess. But it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, nice one, Kyle. Appreciate your time.
Buddy.
No worries, buddy. There we are. Over to you, Nick, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it for another one, and we'll see you on the start line somewhere soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.